going on with Israeli politics? It's a question a lot of people here in the U.S. have right now. So we spoke to two in-the-know journalists based in D.C., Ron Kampeas, who works for an American outlet, and Natan Guttman, who works for Israeli media, to help us understand. You're an Israeli journalist. I think it's fair to say you probably understand every twist and turn of Israeli politics better than me, better than most of us here in the U.S. So can you explain to our non-Israeli audience what is going on in Israel right now?
It's very rare to have a candidate for prime minister not being able to form a coalition. It's hard to understand the parliamentary system when you come from a presidential system like the United States. The fact that there is a party that cares only about the interests of the Ashkenazi ultra-Orthodox community, that there's a party that cares about Russian immigrants, there's a party that cares about Arab Israelis. The idea that there are parties that aren't this big supermarket of ideas that cater to all these needs, but to a very specific part of the population, that's also very different when you compare to the American system.
Do American Jews think they have any sway in what's going to happen in this election?
No, I don't think they have any. I don't think there's any perception that they have any sway on the election. I mean, interestingly, the one person who does think he has sway on the election is Donald Trump, right?
Does he?
Oh, yeah. Look what he's saying. You know, this is like, they need to get their act together, I think was his quote. Like, listen to me. I mean, he basically campaigned for Netanyahu.
Israelis love American Jews, but they don't really care about their positions. And that's why when we see conflict points, like the discussion about the Kotel, the Western Wall, the voice of American Jews doesn't really change politics in Israel. They don't have that power.
What do Israelis like about Netanyahu? I mean, because here in the U.S. you hear so many strong opinions about Netanyahu.
Israel, first of all, look back at the last 3 decades of elections. Israel is a right-wing country. That's the electorate in Israel. They vote right-wing. Some center-right, sometimes more to the right. At the end of the day, that is where Israeli politics is right now.
He is, he is a leader who has delivered. He's delivered on the economy for Israelis. He's made them comfortable. He's delivered on keeping Israel quiet.
Now, Israelis don't like Bibi Netanyahu's personal corruption issues. They feel very bad about that. They look around and they say, well, there's all these inexperienced people competing for the job. We know that at least Netanyahu will give us this sense of security.
Who do you think is going to win the next election in Israel?
In September? Who knows? You know, it's so open-ended. I think that, Netanyahu's been wounded.
Speaking now, it seems like Netanyahu is. Netanyahu is just as strong as he was before the previous elections that just happened. His bloc is just as strong as it was. The opposition is just as weak as it was before.
But I think that what this whole thing, his being outmaneuvered, has done, it's definitely wounded him, because he had the image beforehand of being the bastard, but the bastard who could get things done. And now he's not the bastard who can get things done so much. What
do American Jews think of this political crisis in Israel right now, this second election so soon after they already voted in Israel?
I think that you're getting the same kind of exhaustion here that you get in Israel.
Most Israelis also don't understand what's going on.
The one thing that unites everyone is that no one really knows what's going to happen in Israeli politics.